अथ षष्ठोऽध्याय आत्मसंयमयोग। श्रीभगवानुवाच अनाश्रितः कर्मफलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स संन्यासी च योगी च न निर्विघ्नं चाक्रिया.
The blessed Lord said, "He who performs his obligatory duty without depending on the fruits of action is both a sannyasi and a yogi, not he who merely does not light the sacred fire or performs no action."
यम संन्यासमिति प्राहुर्योगं तं विद्धि पांडव। न ह्यसन्न्यस्त संकल्पो योगी भवति कश्चन.
Know that which they call renunciation, sannyasa, to be yoga, O Pandava, Arjuna. For no one becomes a yogi who has not renounced selfish purpose, sankalpa.
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्म कारणमुच्यते. योगारूढस्य तस्यैव क्षमा कारणमुच्यते.
For a sage who wishes to ascend to yoga, action is said to be the means. For him who has ascended to yoga, serenity is said to be the means.
यदा हि नेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्मस्वनुषिज्यते सर्वसंकल्पसन्न्यासी योगारूढस्तदोच्यते.
When a person is not attached to sense objects or to actions, and has renounced all selfish thoughts, he is said to have ascended to yoga.
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानमवसादयेत्. आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुरात्मैव रिपुरात्मनः.
Let a person elevate himself by his own self, and not degrade himself. For the self is the friend of the self, and the self is the enemy of the self.
बन्धुरात्मात्मनस्तस्य येनात्मैवात्मना जिता. अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवत्.
The self is the friend of him who has conquered his lower self by the higher self. But for one who has not conquered his self, the self acts as an enemy in battle.
जितात्मना प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहिता. शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः.
The supreme self of him who is self-controlled and peaceful is perfectly poised in cold and heat, pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor.
ज्ञानविज्ञानतृप्तात्मा कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रिय. युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी समलोष्टाश्मकार्चन.
The yogi whose mind is satisfied with wisdom and realization, who is unchanging, master of his senses, and to whom a clod of earth, a stone, and gold are the same, is said to be disciplined in yoga.
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्यबन्धुषु. साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते.
He who regards well-wishers, friends, foes, neutrals, arbiters, the hateful, relatives, the righteous, and the unrighteous with an equal mind, is distinguished.
योगी युज्येत सततमात्मानं रहसि स्थितः. एकाकी एतच्चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः.
A yogi should constantly practice meditation, remaining in a solitary place, alone, self-controlled, free from hope and possessions.
शुचौ देशे Pratishtapya sthiramasanam Natutritam natinicham chailajina kushottaram.
Setting up a firm seat for himself in a clean place, neither too high nor too low, covered with kusha grass, a deerskin, and a cloth, one over the other.
Tatraikagram mana krutva etachittendriya kriya. Upavishyasane yujya dyogamatma vishuddhaye.
There, making the mind one-pointed, with the activities of the mind and senses controlled, sitting on the seat, he should practice yoga for the purification of the self.
Samam kai shirogrivam dharayanachalam sthire. Sampreksha nasikagram swamdishishchanavaloken.
Holding the body, head, and neck erect, still, and steady, gazing at the tip of the nose, and not looking in any direction.
Prashantatma vigatabir brahmachari vrate sthita. Mana sanyamya machitto yukta asita matpara.
Serene and fearless, firm in the vow of celibacy, restraining the mind, with thoughts centered on me, he should sit in meditation, keeping me as the supreme goal.
Yujjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasa. Shantin nirvana paramam matsamsthamadhigacchati.
Thus, constantly keeping the mind disciplined, the yogi of controlled mind attains the peace that culminates in supreme liberation, nirvana, and abides in me.
Natyashnatastu yogosti na chaikantamanashnata. Na chati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna.
Yoga is not for one who eats too much, nor for one who does not eat at all. It is not for one who sleeps too much, nor for one who keeps awake too long, O Arjuna.
Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu. Yukta swapna bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha.
Yoga becomes the destroyer of sorrow for him who is moderate in eating and recreation, moderate in performing actions, and moderate in sleep and wakefulness.
Yeda viniyatam chittamatmanyevavatishtete. Nispruha sarvakamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada.
When the disciplined mind rests steadily in the self alone, free from yearning for all desires, then he is said to be established in yoga.
Yetha dipo nivatasto nengate sopama smrita. Yogino etachittasya yujjato yogamatmana.
As a lamp in a windless place does not flicker, so is the comparison for a yogi of controlled mind practicing meditation on the self.
Yetro paramate chittam niruddham yogasevaya. Yetra chaivatmanatmanam pasyanatmani tushyati.
When the mind, restrained by the practice of yoga, attains quietude, and when, beholding the self by the self, one is satisfied in the self.
Sukhamatyantikam etad buddhigrahyamatindrayam. Vetti etrana chaivayam stitaschalati tattvata.
When one experiences that infinite bliss which is grasped by the intellect, and is beyond the senses, and established in it, never departs from the reality.
Yen labdva chaparan labam manyate nadikam tata. Yasmin stito ana dukkena gurunapi vichalyate.
Having obtained which, one considers no other gain to be greater, and established in which, one is not shaken even by heavy sorrow.
Tam vidyad dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangnitam. Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa.
Let that state of severance from union with pain be known by the name of yoga. This yoga should be practiced with determination and an undepressed mind.
Sankalpa prabhavan kamam stektva sarvana sheshata. Manasavendriya gramam niyamya samantata.
Abandoning entirely all desires born of selfish purpose, and restraining the whole group of senses from all sides by the mind alone.
Shanaya shanairu paramid buddhya dhutiguhiteya. Atma samstan mana krutva na kichidapi chintayet.
Gradually, one should attain quietude through the intellect held by fortitude, and placing the mind in the self, think of nothing else.
Eto nischalati manaschachalamasthiram. Tatastato niyamyaitadatmanyeva vasham nayet.
Wherever the restless and unsteady mind wanders, from there one should restrain it and bring it back under the control of the self alone.
Prashantamanasam kn-IN yoginam sukhamuttamam. Upaiti shantarajasam brahmabhutamukalmasham.
Supreme bliss comes to this yogi whose mind is peaceful, whose passion is quieted, who has become one with Brahma, God, and is free from sin.
Yujjanevam sadatmanan yogi vigatakalmasha. Sukhena brahmasamsparshamatyantam sukhamashnute.
Thus, constantly keeping the self disciplined, the yogi, free from sin, easily experiences the infinite bliss of contact with Brahma.
Sarvabhutastamatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani. Ikshate yogayuktatma sarvatra samadarshana.
The yogi whose self is disciplined by yoga sees the self in all beings and all beings in the self. He looks on all with an equal eye.
Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashyami sa chamaina pranashyati. Sarvabhutastitam yo mam bhajate kathamastita. Sarvata vartamanopi sa yogi mai vartate.
He who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, he is never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to him. He who, established in unity, worships me who dwells in all beings, that yogi abides in me, in whatever way he may live.
Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjuna. Sukham vayadiva dukkham sa yogi paramomata.
He who, by comparison with himself, looks on all as equal, whether in pleasure or in pain, O Arjuna, is considered the highest yogi.
Arjuna uvacha. योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः साम्येन मधुसूदन एतस्याहं न पश्यामि चञ्चलत्वात् स्थितिं स्थिराम्.
Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, this yoga of equanimity which you have declared, I do not see how it can be stable because of the restlessness of the mind.
Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavad drudam. Tasyah nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram.
For the mind is restless, O Lord Krishna, turbulent, powerful, and obstinate. I consider its restraint to be as difficult as controlling the wind.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate.
The blessed Lord said, Without doubt, O mighty armed one, the mind is restless and difficult to control, but by practice, abhyasa, and dispassion, virajaya, O son of Kunti, it can be restrained.
Asamyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me matiya. Vashyatmana tu yatata shakyo aptumupayita.
Yoga is difficult to attain by one whose mind is uncontrolled, such is my opinion, but it can be attained by the self-controlled who strive by appropriate means.
Arjuna Uvacha Aitiya Shraddhayopeto Yogachalitamanasa Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhin Kam Gatin Krishna Gachati.
Arjuna said, He who is endowed with faith, but is unable to control himself, whose mind wanders away from yoga, and who fails to attain perfection in yoga, what path does he take, O Lord Krishna?
Kachino bhai vibrashtaschina brahmiva nashyati. Apratishto mahabaho vimudo brahmana pati.
Fallen from both righteous action and knowledge, supportless, and deluded on the path to Brahma, does he not perish like a rent cloud, O mighty armed one?
Etanme samshayam Krishna chetumarhasya sheshata. Twadanya samshayasyasya chetana hyupapadyate.
O Lord Krishna, please dispel this doubt of mine completely, for there is no one else who can remove this doubt but you.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati.
The blessed Lord said, O Partha, neither in this world nor in the next is there destruction for him, for no one who does good ever comes to an evil end, my child.
Prapya punyakritam lokanushitva shashvatiya samaya. Shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashto bijayate.
Having attained the worlds of the righteous and having dwelt there for countless years, he who fell from yoga is reborn in the house of the pure and prosperous.
Atava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam. Etaddi durlabhataram loke janma edidisham.
Or he is born in the family of wise yogis. Such a birth is indeed very difficult to obtain in this world.
Tatra tam buddhisamyogam labate paurvadehikam. Etate cha tato bhoya samsiddhau kurunandana.
There he regains the intellectual impressions of his former body, O joy of the Kurus, and strives even harder than before for perfection.
Purvabhyasena tenaiva priyate haushopi sai. Jignasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate.
By that former practice alone, he is led helplessly. Even the seeker of yoga goes beyond the ritualistic path of the Vedas.
Prayatnadyatamastu yogi samshuddha kilbisha. Aneka janma samsiddhastato yati param gatim.
But the yogi who strives with assiduity, purified from all sins, and perfected through many births, attains the supreme goal.
Tapasvibhyodiko yogi jnanibhyopi matodike. Karmibhyaschadiko yogi tasmadyogi bhavarjuna.
The yogi is deemed superior to ascetics, superior even to the wise, and superior to the performers of ritual action. Therefore, be a yogi, O Arjuna.
Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samayuktatamo mata.
And of all yogis, he who worships me with faith, with his inner self merged in me, is deemed by me to be the most devout yogi.